video, we are getting a Japanese car. From the bottom of my heart, do not buy modern cars. Behind me there are two Nissan 350z's. One of them is supercharged and one of them is completely stock. And today we are gonna see whether they are still a good purchase over 20 years after their release or not. In terms of looks, the stock car comes with a stock bumper, stock everything. It's the most basic looking grandma car. And the modified car has a full custom body kit, original Nismo wheels, Brembo brakes. It is lowered on coilovers, has a huge wing in the back, and it's painted in this duck shit paint green. All right, now let's open up the hood and see what's underneath. All right, 3.5 liter V6, completely stock but with silicone hoses. Not completely stock with a HKS GT2 Supercharger. This car makes over 300 horsepower on the wheel and 450 Newton meters of torque on the wheels, which is crazy. These engines are extremely reliable. We actually have a podcast coming up, so stay tuned for that. You have a closer look. The engines look pretty similar. Supercharger on the side. Can probably convince your wife it's an air intake or something. Sounds great and definitely adds a lot of power. Now let's go ahead and take these cars out on a drive and see how they feel and see how they compare. And if you buy one of these, should you go all out and modify it to an extreme extent, which I will list over here. So let's go ahead and take these cars out for a drive. I'm gonna take the stock car first and see what Japanese cars are made of. Okay, first impression, driving a 2005 350Z in the city in very slow speeds. This feels very nice. The steering is super heavy, which I love. It is for the era of electronic throttles and electronic power steerings and everything. So everything is very, very manual and there is a lot of feel to it. The car sounds really nice. The car sounds very 2000-ish. This car came in the same era that the E46 M3 came. It was a lot more reliable, a lot better in many cases. Okay, these stock brakes definitely suck. I'm really excited to see what the Brembos on the supercharged car feel like, because this was terrible. Maybe I'm just not used to it. Definitely a lot of travel before I can just get anything out of it. This car has a very old school driving feel to it, and if you have been watching me for quite a while, you do know that I love that about cars. I'm not a big fan of modern cars because they're just doing everything for you. So I'm a big fan of this. I have to flex some muscles to turn this steering wheel, which is nice. There is absolutely no body roll in this. I'm really excited to see what the modified car can do, because this in its stock form is already. All right, let's rev up the engine. We are gonna do a pull. Okay, I think I get it about this engine. This is a 3.5 liter V6 that only makes 287 horsepower. I'm saying only because in today's standards, you can get like 287 horsepower out of a 1.6 liter engine. But this is not turbocharged. There is no forced induction in this car. And that means that you have to really work for your power. This is my first time driving a Japanese car and my first time driving a supercharged car now. So we got two new things done today. I know a lot of you guys told me to drive Japanese cars and try them out. It will change my opinion about German cars. So I'm doing that for you guys. Let's go ahead and see what supercharged, fully modified, super crazy 350Z feels like. This wing in the back has made the rear view mirror like pretty useless. This exhaust is loud. Very different and very similar at the same time. So we are gonna give it a pull right now. That was crazy. You know, a lot of cars nowadays have these crazy power numbers, and especially when you watch them on YouTube, it's very easy to call something with 300, 400 horsepower very slow because people are just going crazy. 600, 800, 1,000, 2,000 horsepower in every car on YouTube nowadays. But in my opinion, those are nice, but they are not as fun, because where are you gonna use 1,000 horsepower, you know? The best part about driving a car as a car enthusiast, in my opinion, is the part where you rev out the car and you ask it for a ton and it gives it to you and you abuse it. And that is something you can do with a 300 to 400 horsepower car. That is not something you can do with a, like, what, 1,000 horsepower or like even 600-700 horsepower in the city. I feel like that would be a lot. This car with this much power, I feel like it's just perfect. It handles great. The steering is super sharp. I love this steering wheel that has been put on this car as well. The suspension is amazing, feels great. The brakes, I really complained about the stock brakes, but thankfully these are amazing. We are gonna do another pull right now. Next video, we are getting a Japanese car. I think it's safe to say that I'm convinced. You guys are right. These cars are fun. I love BMWs. I love German cars. But I see the points. You're like 20 years old and you've made some money. You want to buy something that is a lot of fun. I would suggest you get one of these. Even if you don't get one of these, get an older car. You can buy your modern cars. You can buy your... buy your all the electric hybrid that you want later on in life, because that's gonna come here anyways. The days that we can still enjoy these cars are very limited. So I would suggest, if you're just getting into cars, if you're already into cars and you're an older person, if you are already 30-40 years old, you already know what I'm talking about. I don't need to convince you of anything. You must own at least one older car. You modify, you play with it, you open up your garage and you start a project you never finished. The guy, he was driving very recklessly for me to play around. You want get either one of these cars. There is a lot of maintenance that you have to do. There is no way around it. If you get one stock, you are very lucky, because most people who bought these cars probably neglected it. So if you get one of these, I will list down some of the stuff that you can do in order to bring the car back into life down below in the description. And I will list out all of the mods that has been done to this car, because the list is quite huge, down below in the description. Make sure to follow both of the owners on their Instagram. You want me to get one of these? Make sure to help me get to 10,000 subscribers and let me know down below in the comments. Bye.